Hey guys, it's Jansen here and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be running through a brand new tool that Helium 10 have just released that makes the process of product research much easier than before. So without further ado, let's jump into my computer and I'm going to show you exactly what this tool is. It's actually a very subtle update. Again, like with many of Helium 10's changes, they don't really do a huge song and dance about it. I actually just randomly saw it when I was on the Amazon website and I thought, you guys have to know about this because if you don't frequently use the Helium 10 tools, then this one might have actually slipped by without you noticing. So all you need to do is make sure that you've got the Helium 10 Chrome extension installed onto your computer, so the latest version, and watch this. You go onto Amazon, so the US site, the UK site, whichever one, and you start typing in a product that you want to possibly look into selling, right? And straight away, as soon as I click the search bar, this new pop-up appears. Now, if we type in any product, let's just go with something very generic at the moment, such as yoga mat. What happens is rather than Amazon's auto complete or auto suggestion tool showing you what other customers are searching for, you'll still be shown that in Helium 10's new format, which is this section here, but you'll also be given data from Helium 10's Cerebro tool. Previously, you would have had to load up a separate website and waste a bit of time looking into, fiddling about with filters and looking into various keywords in order to get this data. But now it is all built into the Chrome extension. It is built into Amazon. Now, why is this incredibly exciting if you are a massive Amazon nerd like I am? Well, it just makes the process of finding products, product ideas, and ways to differentiate way easier. So we can see we've typed in yoga mat here, and you can see Amazon's usual suggestions. And really helpfully, Helium 10 is telling us what the search volume is. So how many people per month are using the phrase yoga mats for women on Amazon? And we can see it's 13,000. And when we have a quick glance up and down this list, we can actually see that yoga mats for women is the most commonly used term. It's actually more popular than yoga mats or yoga mat. And what's also amazing is you can press this little icon here and it will show you the historical trend of that keyword. Now, why is that important? It's important because it will allow you to understand whether the product that you're looking to sell or the keyword is trending or seasonal or just surging in popularity for whatever reason. Now, typically speaking, when we're looking to sell products on Amazon, we want to be selling products that sell consistently all the way through the year. We don't really want to sell products that do amazingly well in, say, December and then just struggle for the remainder of the year. So you can see here, if we have a look over the past year, yoga mats for women, it has had some fluctuations, which I think could actually be explained. This is just me thinking on the fly. I think you can see the popularity has increased in January, maybe because people's New Year's resolutions are do more workouts or yoga, etc. So you can see the search volume has increased. And then after that, it's kind of gone back to its historical levels, which is around 7,000 to around 16,000 searches per month. So that is a really healthy amount. Just as a little tip from me, I'd always say whenever you are searching for a product on Amazon, you want to make sure that the search volume is at a minimum for your main term, your most popular term, I'd say 1,000. So that is kind of what you'd get with Amazon's auto suggestion anyway, but with the additional feature of having monthly search volume and search volume historic trends. Now, this is the real, absolute game changer. We've got keywords after. So what Helium 10 is doing here is using its Cerebro tool, so a separate tool, to tell you what other keywords or search terms customers are using in addition to yoga mat. So we can see yoga mat is here. Oh, actually, excuse me, we can see that yoga mat is the most popular one with 52,000. I don't know why Amazon wouldn't suggest that. Obviously, because we've searched for yoga mat, haven't we? So there you go. Yoga mat is the most popular. But in any case, what are other people searching for in addition to yoga mat? We can see yoga mat for women, yoga mat thick, yoga mats for men, and so on and so on. Now, why is this helpful? Well, the answer is whenever we are looking to sell a product on the Amazon platform, we always want to be thinking of ways that we can differentiate, stand out, improve upon the existing offer. And this is an amazing way to give you ideas of how you can do that. So let's just say, for example, that you did want to sell yoga mats, and you were really racking your brain for different ideas for how to differentiate or make your product different to the competition. Well, look at this. We've now got different, you know, different angles that we can present our product. So we could think about selling a specific yoga mat that is thicker than the standard yoga mat. Now, obviously, the demand is a lot lower for that. We've got 2,000 searches per month. But what you could do is look into the thick yoga mat niche, if it does exist, and have a look at the demand there and the level of competition. And if the level of competition for thick yoga mats is a lot less than standard yoga mats, then that gives you an opportunity to dominate that sub niche. One really popular kind of route that people follow to sell products that are quite competitive is, instead of targeting an entire audience, so people looking for yoga mats, what they'll do is target a sub audience, so the sub niche. So instead of going to targeting people that just want to buy a yoga mat, what some sellers now do, that I've come across, is targeting people that are just searching for thick yoga mats, because the big boys, the Chinese sellers, the internationals, they're not interested in this thick yoga mat niche because the demand is lower. But if you remember what I just said a few minutes ago, the minimum search volume that we kind of look for is 1,000. So if you see a search term that has got more than 1,000 searches per month, and once you look into that, you look into the yoga mat thick niche, and you see that there aren't really many sellers that are catering to the people searching for that, there you go. I personally think that's a good opportunity for you to, sell a product that does cater to that audience. So that's another idea. We've got yoga mats for men. So instead of, targeting just the general audience of yoga mats, people looking for yoga mats, you could change your branding, offer, maybe darker colored yoga mats, or have maybe a certain type of branding that's possibly a bit more masculine. I don't know. But there you go. That's another idea, isn't it? Instead of going for the whole market, focus in on a sub niche. And this is exactly um, the thinking that you should be doing when using this amazing new tool from Helium 10. It is literally telling you what real people out there in the country are searching for on Amazon, and it's telling you how many as well. So you want to be looking not just at the sales demand for the very broadest term possible, but looking at the search volume demand for specific search terms, and then the sales demand of that. And if those two stack up, if it looks like there is a substantial amount of demand there, or enough for you to be making your monthly profit target, then by all means go for it. So that's the keywords after column. We've not done yet. We've got the keywords before. So what else have we got here? So again, instead of just yoga mat, we've got thick yoga mats. So we can see we've got 2,300 people searching for thick yoga mats, and another 2,000 people searching for yoga mat thick. So presumably those people are different. I don't see why you would be typing in variations, but let's just say, for argument's sake, that the total amount of people on a monthly basis looking for thick yoga mats is 3,000. So say half of this and half of this one. There you go. That is a substantial audience, isn't it? Looking for thick yoga mats that might not be being catered for. Everyone else is just selling standard yoga mats. If you can start selling one of these mats and say, hey guys, hey customers, our yoga mats are thicker than others. This gives this benefit, that benefit, and so on. You're onto a winner, aren't you? What else have we got? We've got travel yoga mat. So potentially you could think about branding your product as something that's lightweight, travel friendly, and so on. We've got cork, non-slip, large, and so on and so on. You can see, can't you, just how useful this brand new Helium 10 tool is. And then finally, we've got the Smart Complete column. Now, what this basically is doing is just finding keywords that are kind of associated with yoga mat in some respect. So maybe the word yoga or the word mat, and then giving you ideas and search volumes associated with that. And this column is actually probably one of my favorites for discovering new product ideas. So, we might think yoga mat, to be honest, we've had a look at the opportunities here, and we don't really think that there's that much of an opportunity to differentiate. All is not lost, because from that little seed keyword of yoga mat, you can look at this Smart Complete column and you can see mouse mat. Okay, I guess that's just for a standard computer mouse mat, isn't it? That's an idea. It's probably going to be too competitive. What else have we got? Dog cooling mat, 25 or 26,000 searches per month. So you might think, okay, that's really interesting. And this is where this little graph icon is going to pay off. Because now, what I'm thinking is dog cooling mats are probably a bit more popular in the summer months, aren't they? They're one of those mats that you put on the ground that's like ice cold that a dog can lay on. If you weren't sure, you literally just click here and let's have a look to see if it is actually seasonal. I would guess it is. But yeah, look at that. So you can see in the cooler months, the search volume is very, very low. And then look at this. During the heat wave that we've just had, it spikes all the way up to 160,000. And then the temperatures have kind of dropped a bit. And then this spiked up again last a couple of weeks ago when we had a heat wave. Actually, that's super interesting, isn't it? Because you can kind of tell what the weather is in the UK just by looking at this graph. So that's quite cool. But from that little exercise there, it just shows you, doesn't it, the importance of looking at search volume trends. Because I would therefore say this product's too seasonal. The demand for most of the year is very, very low, or the search volume history is very, very low, but it suddenly spikes in summer. So it might be a good one to consider selling next year, for a couple of months. But if you're thinking of ordering this now and selling it, you're probably a bit too late. But that's fine. That is, it just shows you the importance, doesn't it, of this tool here. What else have we got? We've got changing mat, and we've got another cooling mat for dogs, so another 25,000. Baby changing mat, desk mat, and so on. So lots of different ideas there. And we haven't even gone past the homepage of Amazon. Let's just have a look at dog cooling mat. So if we click into that, I'd just be interested to see what the actual demand is. So we've loaded dog cooling mats, and we can see that it is just one of those type of products that probably is only going to be doing well in the summer months. So what you do whenever you have a product idea that you'd like to consider further, or if you've just used Helium 10's tool to find an idea, you must always search for it on Amazon, have a look at all of the results. And then if you've got the latest version of Helium 10, which you should do if you're using this little trick that I'm teaching you now, you press this icon down here, X-ray, or if you don't, you can press the icon up here. You then wait for the results to load. You then want to press filter results, hide sponsored product results, because we want to remove any listings that are paying to be there, because it's not going to give us an accurate representation of the niche. And then let's have a look. So we can see that there is some serious demand in here, isn't there? We've got one seller, Crufts, who's a big brand, doing 54,000, 40,000, and so on. So huge, huge amount of demand. And if we just click this icon here, sales graph, we can see what the actual trend is historically. And that should match the search demand history. Yes, you can see here. So remember, guys, whenever you find a product, even if it has good search demand, you need to also look at the sales demand. So that's what's most important, right? And you can see the sales demand is actually very, very low for this seller during the cooler months, which makes complete sense. Then spikes up when the weather gets good in the UK. So this is personally a product that I would probably avoid. It's just seasonal, but it doesn't matter. I'm just showing you how to find different product ideas using this new awesome Helium 10 extension. So let's just say, for example, you did want to consider this niche a bit further. The next step you would do after verifying that there is sufficient amount of demand. I always say to assess what the sufficient amount of demand is, it should be 3 times your monthly profit target. So if you want to earn £1,000 profit per month, you need to do £1,000 times 3. That's 3,000. You need to see at least 5 sellers making £3,000 revenue. £1,000 profit, times it by 3. That's £3,000. We need to see 5 sellers doing that, and we can see they have got that. We can see the price point is very attractive throughout. So the average price is £19, and the majority of sellers are actually quite a bit above that. The next thing I would look at is the review count. That can often give you an indication as to how competitive a niche is, how new a niche is. And we can see actually the number of reviews are not too bad. So it seems it could be a relatively new-ish niche. Next, I would look at the rating score. Rating score means that there's always going to be, if the review rating score is low, there's going to be opportunities to improve upon the product because customers are probably complaining. This one here has got 3.6 out of 5. So I imagine there's some unhappy customers there. So you can look into that and see what they're moaning about. And then my next favorite column, which Helium 10 presents to you, is the seller country region. If you have a look through this column and it's just HKCN, HKCN, that means Hong Kong or China. And the reason that's important is because if you see that a ton of Chinese sellers, again, it means there's an opportunity for you there to come in and say, we are a UK brand, English speaking staff, 24/7, etc. And it typically will also mean that the quality of listings is going to be poor because the Chinese guys, their listings are improving, but they're always going to have a disadvantage versus the Western world, a Western business, because Westerners understand the Western customer and they understand the pain points and how to make the listing compelling, which Chinese sellers sometimes struggle with. And just to kind of maybe put that into perspective, I hope so anyway, we've got GoSure. What does that mean? It's not a very good sounding brand name, is it? Just random. And Chinese seller, let's have a quick look at their listing just so you can see what I mean. Hopefully there's going to be some random Chinese words on here that don't make sense. So no ice pad required, no need to charge, no need to add water. Okay, a perfect way for keeping your dog cool as the summer heats up. Non-toxic, safe for pet and humans. So there you go. That's kind of, the English isn't great, is it? And it's just not particularly compelling. Safe for pet and humans. So, there you go. Normally the listings are going to be of this quality or a lot worse. Look, seat mat, cooling mat for laptop, stuff like that. Like, you can make these images so much more compelling on the sofa, in the kennel. Like, they don't look great, do they? So that's why I'm saying the column that explains to you where the sellers are from, it's really important. And if you see a bunch of CN's China in the lineup, straight away there's probably going to be an opportunity for you to differentiate. So, like I said, guys, don't, if you ever do find a niche using little Helium 10's kind of suggester and it's, you think actually it's not quite right, don't give up, because look, we can now use the word dog cooling mat. And again, using the exact same method, we can see what Helium 10 is suggesting. So what are people searching for? It's mainly related to size. What else have we got? Again, we've got keywords relating to size. So not too much there in the way of giving us clues of how to differentiate, but we then go to the final column, my favorite column, should I say, Smart Complete. And look at this, we've got dog bed. So you can now start looking at beds for dogs as a different niche idea. You've got bath mat. Maybe you want to look into that, like different styles, cool bag, and so on and so on. So I really hope you guys are as excited as I was when I first came across this tool. It is incredible how much Helium 10 has developed over the past few years. They're making the product research process easier and easier as each year goes on. When I was a young'un, back in the olden days, none of this existed. We just had the X-ray tool, and then you'd have to go into Helium 10's website and do all external searching, and it was just a bit of a pain. So guys, download Helium 10 if you don't have it. Use my Helium 10 discount code in the description. You get 50% off. the Platinum plan, which is an amazing deal. It will help you find a product to sell, and it will help give you ideas for how you can differentiate and smash it out the park. So that is it for today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you've got any additional tips of your own about Helium 10, let me know in the comments. As always, have a good week, and I'll see you guys next time.